viewers, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Gombe. Coming to you live on the Gombe Media Corporation. My name is Augusta Daniel, your presenter on today's program. We sincerely apologize for starting the program behind schedule due to some reasons beyond our control. With me in the studio is Mr. Daniel Abo, a public analyst. Mr. Daniel, good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Gombe.
Thanks for having me and good morning.
And from my left-hand side is our comrade A.S. Labaron. You are welcome to the program.
Good morning.
We also have comrade Aisha Caleb Tukulma. You are also welcome to the program. And lastly on the list is our comrade Abubakar Ibrahim Waziri. You are also welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
And Mr. Dan, I think we're going to give them 1 minute to introduce themselves and their organization, starting from my left-hand side in the person of our comrade A.S. Labaron.
All right, viewer, my name is Abdulaziz Sani Labaran, and to God be the glory. I'm the state coordinator of Youth O'Clock Nigeria, Gombe State Chapter, as well as the coordinator of the 36 state coordinators.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aisha Caleb Tukulma. I'm an educator, an educational consultant, and I'm collaborating with the Access Initiative.
Okay.
My name is Abubakar Ibrahim Waziri. I'm the Executive Director at Access Initiative, and I'm also the Youth Focal Person for Gombe Network of Civil Society.
Okay, you are all welcome to the program, gariyawaye, gombawa. Mr. Dan, you are a known person. I don't need to give you opportunity to introduce yourself because I've already introduced you already. We're going to focus on one particular issue on today's program, that is Gombe Youth Agenda. Starting with our comrade A.S. Labaran, the aim of this particular movement.
All right, as you rightly mentioned at the course of introduction, my brother mentioned the Gombe Network of Civil Society, and to God be the glory, even there, I pretend to be the Assistant General Secretary. Gombe Youth Agenda is a call to action. It's a movement cut across different youth platforms, groups, and associations, irrespective of formal and non-formal groups. It was created out of the necessity or the necessary need for young people to have a charter or a plan ahead of them. And every plan we have a short-term plan and a long-term plan. So also the Gombe Youth Agenda. We sat together and find out, since the creation of Gombe State, our neighboring states are embryoing Gombe State because of our infrastructural development, or let me use rapid development, starting from Oji, Bawa, Hashudu, Njumoguzi, and Gombo, and now all of them have been doing excellently well in terms of infrastructural development and urbanization of our own city. However, young people used to be left behind.
That is the youth.
Yeah. Some of them see us as, let me use
The
this
leaders of
negative word.
tomorrow?
Not just the leaders of tomorrow. They see us as, what do they call that? Deficit of something. Liabilities. I like the way you brought it up. They see us as liabilities, which is not true. Looking at the current reality, they only use young people when they are in the political processes. We are like a tools that used to push their vehicles to the right highway, and after that vehicle take the good line road network, they forget about us. So we decided to tell ourselves the truth. Do we really have a reason to hold them accountable? Because none of them promised us A, B, C, or D. It never come to us as the young people say, vote for us, and if you give us the mandate, out of the 11 local government chairmen, we are giving you 6. Out of the 23 commissioners, we are giving you 10. Out of the 20 advisors, nobody did that to us.
Don't you think it's because we lack representative in the politics?
This is where I'm coming, and we did not have a negotiation power with our leaders. And how can we hold them accountable? And most of us young people think it's high time to make the wrong rights of the past. It's high time to sit down and decide what we need for ourselves and the future of our born and unborn children. And for any chance to start, somebody somewhere must have started something. So to that, we decided to come. Some of us have the political, let me just say, relationship. Some of us have our own party. But for this cost, we decided not to be partisan and not to promote any individual, but rather to represent the young people, enlighten them, educate them, and give them the thinking that they're supposed to have, and in deciding who is supposed to be in charge of our mantle of leadership. That is the main brain behind the creation or the formation of the Gombe Youth Agenda.
Mr. It seems like you wanted to ask the question before I go further to the Comrade Aisha, for my next question.
Yes, I just, when he was speaking, I picked a word from what he used on that liability thing you mentioned. Okay. Talking about that liability issue, one, I want to know, what if somebody is giving you a card, if somebody is giving you a card, there's a saying that nobody makes you inferior in life without your own consent. If somebody is tagging up something on you, saying the youths are liabilities, it is not left for the youth
to decide.
Such coalition, what are you people doing about on tagging yourself with that liability tag? Because most of the time you see why they give those tags is because of the attitudes from the youth. One time head of state for this country, Gariyawaye said, was each time I sit with you discussing issues, I remember Babangida's quote that time. Babangida was said some few years ago that the youth of this country are not ready for power. And from some of their action, you see that it is true they are really not ready. Anytime it comes to election period like we are having now, you see the routes are the easily available tools for thuggery, for bigotry. They're throwing religious bigotry into you people and you start getting yourself divided. So what are you people doing towards liberating yourself from this target?
Okay, thank you so much. I am happy to take this question. And from our own side, as we've said earlier, we have been creating a lot of forums here and there to kind of intimate ourselves with the current reality and to caution young people like ourselves about some of these tendencies to be used for this kind of vices here and there. I like the quote you gave with IBB talking about young people back then. I always like to tell people that, you know, bad system creates strong people, and then good system breeds weak people. So when the IBBs came, I think that was more like after the fight for colonization and what have you. So it was not really a so great system that they have to be strong, and that is why we have the likes of the Yakubu Gowon. They were youths when they were able to do that. I think what they were able to create at that time was somewhat a good system because Nigeria was strong, we have the resources and what have you, and it brings a next generation of like weak people. Now as young people, we inherit a bad system. So it means it's a major reason for us to now rise up and create a better society. Because if we want to maintain the status quo, what do we enjoy? So when you talk about young people being just, you know, objects to be used for trickery and what have you, what else are you using young people for? The people in power don't find value in young people to be able to, you know, fit into seats that are very, very attractive. The commissioner's seats, give awarding contracts to them and the rest. The only area where they have resources allocated for young people is mobilization for trickery. So you see, is it now a fault of the young people or the fault of people who have access to the resources, utilizing young people just to get some of this, thing done? I'm not trying to sound defensive here. I'm just trying to say that that is more like, I want to look at it from a booster barrier kind of situation. And that is where the problem comes in. If you don't have any plan to engage young people in qualitative ways, you can provide them with access to conferences, to fellowships, to scholarship opportunities within and outside the country, but you choose not to. The only resources that you have available for young people is when they go out there holding matches and what have you. So that is why we tend to see some of these things. But I assure you that the teeming young people have every characteristics to bring about the change, the development we want in our society. We have a lot of fine engineers, fine doctors, fine nurses, fine educators and what have you in our society. Why do you choose not to integrate some of these people? And then this is the argument. So as young people, we feel like we are kind of in a shortfall where we need to fix issues around our capacity development, and we've been having platforms to train ourselves for leadership. So we've been having a lot of initiatives like the Ibon Fire Leadership Initiative and what have you.
That takes us to Aisha's rules. Thank God we have an educator in the house.
Exactly.
What it's your organization playing, and how far have you gone towards this growth?
Yes, actually wanted to respond to the other question. Like he said, now I want to take it to the other side of looking at it from the youth angle now. Okay, he actually kind of made a stand that, okay, the politicians are not seeing the value in the youth. Now, the purpose of having this youth agenda is to create an awareness. Now, we're having a neutral ground, a safe space where youth will know their value. Youth are actually being, it's like a call to action. Now, this is what you're being used for. Most of the times, when it comes to political campaigns and all of that, this is what you've been regulated to do. This is what you're being used to do. So we're trying to make them understand that you have more value to give than what these politicians are actually using you to do.
Some politicians.
Yes, okay, some politicians actually are actually using you to do. But then when I say politicians are actually using, I'm not even saying the negative aspect alone. Because it's not all campaign that is actually bad. So we can't tag that all the campaigns are bad. Yes, there are also positive campaigns and it's also the youth that are also doing that. So they do a lot of campaigns online using their social media. Yes, ma'am. So we have to balance it. You need to know that, yes, in as much as you're campaigning for this candidate, you can also have a bargaining power. You can also ask for more than just being a campaign coordinator. You can be more than that. So that is why we saw the need of youth coming together. This movement is a non-partisan. It is neutral. We're coming together, bringing, what is this thing that we need in Gombe? Now we're boiling it down to Gombe as a state. Youth in Gombe, they're not just going to partake in campaigns alone, but what are those things that we need the governors or the government or the chairperson to know that, this is where it is hurting us. This is what we need from you. And this way it is an accountability kind of model. This politicians come and then they give mandates and it's oral, it's not documented. But then with this platform, it is documented, so that when we come out and say, this is our document, this is what you promised us, this is what we are seeing, what is happening, there is an accountability somewhere. That is one of the major. Thank you. So we have something documented that we can hold them accountable now. So it is actually a platform for the youth to actually have one voice.
Actually, the answer session, I was calling through precisely before I saw a message asking me to come for the English session. I had this serious question for you. In your last appearance here, you made some very categorical statements that I want you to tell our viewers how far you have gone with advocacy. You almost spit fire when you were saying, look, in one of the outings, one of the political, one of the contestants, in one of his outings, there was serious insecurity in the street. Once we are snatched, and that the youths in Gombe were going to come out and make those gladiators accountable if they don't stop using the youth for those work. How far have you gone with advocacy?
All right, that is part of what the youth agenda will look at, and I would love to repeat my statement. Then I use Hausa, and today I would love to use Gombe is the only state we can proudly call our own. Anybody that intentionally or unintentionally, directly or indirectly, want to burn Gombe into ashes, would burn himself first before Gombe. And we will not hold our hands to see things going wrong and keep quiet. It's high time we tell them they should play politics with cautions. After election, we still have 4 years to play. And to those politicians, please, we are urging for now not to actually use our young people as their political tools or ladder for them to climb their way to success. But however, there will never be peace in Gombe if the political process is not peaceful. And when the outcome of the election is not peaceful, the governance will also not be peaceful. So the right time to start doing these things is now. Those politicians, we know them, they know us, they know themselves, and we know where to meet when necessary. We will not watch them playing around young people.
How do you intend to achieve that Because you have to run in between the youths and
Yes.
these contestants.
Okay.
Additionally, when I was talking in the House version of this program, but let me talk into this also program, you see, part of the agenda is to create a platform where we co-create the agenda. We send the Google Forms are online for young people to feel what are their priority, what is the problem, and where they think they need for the development. Then we say we'll have a co-creation on 31st of this month. That time we'll invite all the youth leaders of the political party. They are the ones that are using those young people. We want them to be there. And during that meeting, we have the representative of the police commissioner, DSS, civil defense, all the
media and everybody.
Media. But it's a highly stakeholders engagement. So we'll control the number. On the process, we'll sign commitments. They will give us what they think should be part of the youth agenda from the political point of view. We give them from the youth principles what we think should be part of it. Then the youth also should give us their own mandate. We'll do that one, but we'll also invite the gubernatorial aspirants and their DJs with the chairman of all the political parties on the 7th of September, which is 2 days to the flying up of the campaign.
Yes.
We will sign commitments. This is what young people need. On that fora, we will tell them categorically, violence will not make you a leader. And we will not wash our hands seeing you misusing, misleading, reorienting at the mindset of our young people for your personal interest. Where this happen, we can now decide to be partisan because we come all out to fight you. So I think that could be able to answer your question.
Okay. Talking about this particular issue now, what are the means of creating this particular array? Is it within even the state or even including the local government areas of Gombe State?
The agenda?
The movement, this particular movement we're talking about.
Okay, let me respond to that. Thank you very much for that question. So, our involvement is not just within Gombe. We're going all out into the rural area. We're covering all the way to different local governments, all the way to the villages. Now, you'll find out that when it's time for election, most of those numbers are not just derived within the town. It is from those villages. So we have foot soldiers, like you said. This is, we've not actually gotten, like our number here is not up to 10% of organizations that are coming together for this particular. We have more organizations. Yeah. So we have foot soldiers that are going all the way into these villages, into this local government and all of that. We have groups. So when we take it to them, these people are not on social media. So we do interviews. We get them documented, we bring them back, and then we compile them. So it is not just about, okay, the people or the youth within Gombe State. So we're going all out into the rural areas to get what they actually want, and then we make an agenda of everything and compile it as a document.
All right, and to add to what she just said from the representative here, we've been trying not to be narrowed. You can see I'm from Gombe local government, and that's Gombe North. And she's from Balanga and from Gombe South. He's from Akku and from Gombe Central. You can see from the
we're looking for.
Yeah, I wanted to go that way. Even if you can take a look at the gender, there is gender inclusion.
Yes.
Look at even the religion that I don't want to be talking about. There is representation.
And let me so everybody feels that way. Look at me as a public commentator. I'm from Benue.
Yes.
That's the Nigerian integration. And she's also from one village in Enugu. So you see,
That's in Nigeria. We're looking forward to
This
do.
particular movement is talking about giving youth the opportunity to participate in politics actively, to contribute their quota. And giving the youth opportunity is one of the challenges, Mr. that we are facing in this country, and Gombe State is not left behind.
Yes.
How do you look at it, Mr. Comrade?
young people, they used to see are the leaders of tomorrow.
Actually?
As a student of language and a language specialist, I was told tomorrow is yesterday's today. And today, tomorrow will be tomorrow's of today. And tomorrow will be tomorrow of next tomorrow. So
I'm confused.
to use that English in
In a
a
simple
simple
term.
terms, tomorrow
simple
is a day that will never exist.
Yeah.
So youth are not leaders of tomorrow.
We are part of the today,
Today's
and we'll
leadership.
take it today.
Yes.
Yes, it's just same thing as a teacher's reward in
Yes,
in
it's
heaven.
heaven. When you can practically have
my next question, please, will be going on to Abubakar, the head of Access
Initiative.
Access Initiative. One major problem we see the youth having towards participating in election is the cost and the expensive kind of politics being played in the country right now. I don't know what your organization does, but from the name, Access Initiative, it sounds like an organization. Yes, it sounds like an organization that want to create an opportunity, and give you access to.
Even from the name.
What role does the organization play towards giving youth enabling environment or opening to participate in politics like this?
Thank you very much. So we don't just look at politics, we look at governance, right? Because our organization is a governance-based kind of thing. So what we do are numerous things, but to mention but a few is leadership development. So we feel like for you to be able to access a vacuum, to fill a vacuum maybe in politics and governance and what have you, you have to start by leading yourself first. So you see, you have to build your capacity to be able to identify your priorities.
Capacity, that's the word.
Capacity building, right? So we do a lot of initiatives around capacity building. Oftentimes we organize different symposia for, governance and inclusion for youth and women. We've had like 3 editions of that. And we also organized the Iwafari leadership retreats.
But that is the problem. Most time we organize this workshop and people come speak big English, and this politicians just come. They just come with their money, buy all the funds, buy the space.
Well, but you know the thing about
get to a stage where I see you start helping themselves.
Yes.
Financially, materially, towards participation.
Yeah, like we get there. I think the barriers are numerous. So like I told you have to start from yourself. You have to start from within. When you become ready, then that is when you engage. We don't want to replace the bad politicians with bad youths. We don't want to do that. So we want to make the youths ready first, then we can engage. And that is what a lot of organizations of youth focused and youth-based organizations have been doing. So to bring these youths to become ready for this kind of roles, because we don't want to copy this kind of leadership style. Yeah, we want to do a better thing, right? And in regards to what you're saying, based on the data we are receiving already from young people, part of the barriers is that lack of participation and the rest like that. So, and that is why we are bringing those stakeholders to the co-creation workshop, because when we have that negotiation with them, then we can actually look at something that is more practical than just an ideal point of view. We have a number of political parties that are registered by INEC, but how many of those parties are even having candidates to run? It all boils down to the cost of logistics, the terms to have offices in almost every state, and what have you. And of course, the reality is that we have young people still battling with unemployment. We have young people still battling with a whole lot of issues. The education is not qualitative. Civic education that used to be a core subject is now an elective subject. So you see, we have a whole lot of factors biting at you.
I think I honestly agree with Abubakar, that aspect of capacity. That first you have to build yourself first before you go into leadership. Let me give an example of one. Day before yesterday, BDN was called to Nigerian Passenger to address him. Lawyers were divided among themselves. Some lawyers were saying, "What the hell? Why should such a person like BDN is not needed to come and address lawyers?" But because he built his capacity, because he was capable, he went there, we saw it, he addressed Nigerian Bar Association, he was in the panel. And after the conference, you could see no lawyers scrambling to take selfie with him. So I think that is the capacity.
Mr. My question, next question goes to Comrade Aisha Caleb. Actually, we have some issues, especially in aspect of women participating actively in politics. And I think women should be given opportunity for them to contribute their quota. And one of the challenges we're facing now is norms and values. Sometimes you see women willing to participate, but because of our culture, it's one of the hindrances that's stopping them from participating actively in the politics. What do you want to say about that?
Very big problem. In the country of 2 million people, only 3 women senators.
Yes, that is why I say culture and norms is one of the factors affecting us.
That's a very good question. So most times when you're growing up, there are lots of things they regulate that they'll tell you it is gender based.
Yeah,
Now they'll tell you, sweep the floor, cook, it's for the woman, and then don't this one. The men will do this, but then the culture, our society is changing. You'll find that in a home, it is not just the man that is providing. Now the woman is also bringing her support, but then it is not actually recognized because they still feel the provision is for the male, and then to raise his ego and say, okay, this, just do your quota. If you bring in, you're just trying to help, but they don't recognize it that, okay, this woman is actually bringing her own quota too. So I feel it should be applicable anywhere, in politics, in health sectors, and it should be applicable anywhere. That women should not just feel that, okay, because I am a woman, I should be regulated to a particular thing. If the table, like they will say, if you're not presented at the table or you're not given a seat at the table, create it yourself. Make that table. And that brings us back to the capacity building where we're talking about. You can't just sit back, fold your hands and say, okay, because they didn't call me to the table, Aisha was not called to discuss this matter, then I'm not going to be involved. Your voice matters. Now there's this woman, I've forgotten her name. She does a lot of social media content. She doesn't expose her body. She's covered with her niqab and everything, but then her voice matters, and she speaks about politics, and she does her business online, and then she's making sales. Like she has, I forgot, if only I could remember her handle. Like she's making her sales without breaking any religion or cultural reason that is holding her back. So this is a call to women out there. You don't have to say, okay, because I'm a woman, and no, you don't have to do that. You can air out, you can create that table. This is a platform for you to voice your own say and then be involved. And when you're doing them, it's easy for you to be recognized and picked up. And okay, this person has built that capacity. This person has what it takes to handle this. Okay, why not come and try this? So that is just the call to action.
And I think to add up to what she's saying, some of the women, non-participation in politics and the youth are kind of similar, because all of us are suffering from the same kind of exclusion from the people in power. Yes. We have the numbers. Yes. Because if you're looking at the society, the women and the youths constitute a larger portion of the society. And then they are the ones who are outside. And the few people, the people who constitute the minimal number are the ones who are taking over, ruling over us. So it's just like a minority rule. And I just want to add up to what she said and charge women out there to build their capacity and engage. Like, it doesn't just start from the top. You were saying that you want a deputy governor or governor. How many women are contesting for member House of Assembly? Something that is very, very disheartening for me is the fact that a man is the chairman House Committee on Women Affairs. Yes, we have 24 members in the House of Assembly. All the 24 members are men.
We once had a commissioner for women affairs in Bauchi State.
So you see, like these are the areas, like, right? I'm not saying that women should settle for positions that are less low. I'm not trying to be mediocre in this, but I'm being very realistic. And we have a lot of parties. So if you cannot be given a ticket in APC, you can't be given a ticket in PDP or ADC or anywhere. Why don't you go to YPP? Why don't you go to Labour Party and other parties? I have seen of a woman's poster, I think in the Dukulura government, contested for member House of Assembly. So how many women are out there rooting for her? All of these things are some of the discussions that we should be having. We have to really engage. We shouldn't look at incentives, the rappers here and there, and then what should be given. No, let's look at issues. If you have a woman out there, there will be policies around maternal health, reproductive health, and stuff like that. The men might perceive that yes, there is a need around that, but they don't feel it, right? But then when you have a woman, it's a lived experience, so she's going to come up, influence policies that will, pave the way for women to kind of, do well.
Comrade, is Labaran. When we are talking, both of them were talking, and now you're shaking your head. You have a lot to say.
Seriously,
leaders, stakeholders have to say something about this because they have to contribute in terms of enlightening the community, the need for women to participate in politics.
Actually, as you rightly mentioned, for a man to be chairman, House Committee on Women Affairs, there is no harm on that, because I remember I once engaged him. He said he's a he or she ambassador, and that means a lot. And additionally, as we are working on the youth agenda, we already have women agenda on ground. It's already on ground, well developed, ready for launching. And we are waiting when we finish with the youth agenda, we join the two and launch them together. And as it is, I know of a movement that say reserve a seat for women in state assembly, which is still ongoing. There are a lot of permutation on that. So that's why when they are talking, I'm just a bit shaking my head because I am in some clear picture of what maybe they are not aware of. There is a lot of movement on that. I remember when we started gender-based violence and the things, how far we've gone, how we support. But the reality is, at times, he pushes ambassadors used to run away because women don't used to appreciate what men does. More especially the women here in the northern part of the country. You see a wife in your house, you provide the roof, you provide everything for the house. One thing will happen, she now say, what have you ever done to me in your lifetime?
Don't you say any allegation,
Is the nature of a woman sometimes. I'm saying this beyond any contradictions. So we all know, gentlemen.
Is it true?
So
What
women,
That's an assumption or something, or maybe he's
women
not
need
saying.
to change that narrative.
Yeah.
Then additionally, when we talk about in the National Assembly, the women they send for representative, are we sure we are ready to have such kind of people representing their people?
I think that's where the capacity we're talking about comes in. There is a need for capacity building, yeah? And then there's a need for them to engage.
My knowing in assembly, when they elect you, the first thing they will do training and induction to build that capacity you are in it.
Okay.
So I cannot just see it's a matter of capacity building alone.
Attitude
Okay.
thing.
It's the attitude.
So are you
Because there is a saying that also says if you want to test the loyalty of a woman to her husband or a man, test when he has nothing financially to offer.
okay?
Well, I think that's not the bone of
Ah,
contention.
this is right.
I think I said I back up Sonny Labrande because there's an attitude thing too. We saw the case of Natasha Akoti, and we saw the reaction of Senator Reti Kingibe. Kingibe was not there for Natasha at all. She didn't stand up for her
should
fellow
have
women.
assisted.
She should have stood up for her fellow women then doing that.
Naturally,
she completely got herself.
So then what I was saying in a simple terms, I want us to reach a comprehensive understanding of ourselves, then we talk to our viewer. Let's take about them. For instance, Augusta and Aisha now. Naturally, women are envying themselves. So also the young people. That's why we are not growing.
Okay.
If we have an organization like this, the problem would be who will be the leader? Who is the convener?
Like I said, it's not the bone of
You
contention.
are thinking of how to move the organization.
Yes, we are not thinking of let's have the organization to help people.
Okay.
Me first. That's about the young people. Wheresoever you see 5 young people, the first thing that would divide them, these politicians are very smart. Yes, come and give money to one.
Yes, yes.
Money will be the major problem if we are not contented with the little we have. If they fail with that, they will now send one bag each among you. You now come and say, oh, they don't trust Abu. I just he belongs to party EOB. They cause division. But naturally, women are not growing because they are envy themselves. They are naturally jealous of themselves. No, I want to.
That boils down to personality. Now that boils down to personality. Now because one person does this, you can't just generalize and say that okay, everybody. I feel when you talk about envy, is an attribute that people get to feel at a particular point in their life, and then if woman can actually feel that way, so you can also say that a male can also feel that same
where I'm coming,
okay,
Ms. Aisha,
so
let me still come back. Where I'm coming
Yes, sir.
is men can envy each other. We
Okay.
can easily understand ourselves. And you as a female
Yeah.
will prefer me to lead you than a fellow female.
Okay,
That's the
you're not talking for me right now.
No,
You're not talking for me right
I'm
now.
talking about the female in general.
Okay, yes, some female. Now, some female. You can actually say some
They
female.
prefer male than the female.
No,
Two
not
of
every.
us.
No, not every.
Majority.
Not every female.
Majority.
Not every. Now, it just boils down to leadership. Now, I feel a woman would want to trust that leadership enough to want to even how would I put it, accept it. Okay, now you can't really say that okay, in a leadership particular position the male are best at it and then the women are not very good when you come to the leadership.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, no, you said something like okay,
You
women preferring male to lead.
You prefer me than
It's
a
not in
fellow
all
female.
situations.
Then let me take you for Taraba as a case study.
All right.
When Mama Taraba was contesting, who was her DG? Who gave her the support? who assisted her. Let's come back to Gombe here. When Aisha to MB Ahmad was contesting, where were women in her support? When Aisha to Jibril Duku contested, it was men that produced her, not the women. Because I want to give you facts.
Instances.
I'm giving you instances where I see things happen. He made mention of Natasha. When Natasha was on fire, where was the other female
What
in
we
the
say in
assembly?
Aisha is that
Yes.
whenever women find themselves in this situation, it is expected
That they
women
rise
come
up.
up in their large number. Isn't
Yes.
it?
Justice themselves.
Support.
Okay,
Let's come out of women now.
Solidarity.
Let's narrow it to the main agenda you
Youth
here
agenda,
for.
youth agenda, right?
It is youth o'clock now.
Yes.
And the honors is especially on your organization now, Lavara. We saw what happened in Oshu. That election was successful because
Yes.
of the high participation of the youths in that
Yes.
election.
Actually.
They say out of every 4, they said out of the statistics given was out of every 10 registered voters, 4 turned up. So the percentage participation of that election was 43 point something percentage. And half of that were the youth. We saw a situation whereby a youth at the polling station, we holler at an electoral official once he started receiving calls during the election. Why are you calling this way? What lesson is youth o'clock in Gombe going to learn from that situation?
You know,
And how are you ready to replicate that?
when I
in
see celebrities coming into politics during that election, you can see the video.
Yes.
He uses influence for politics. However, he's been partisan, which I'm not calling our young people
to
be.
do, yes.
But his presence alone play a vital role in the politics. You know, young people are naturally attached to entertainment. They want a fun life. So I think even in Gombe, not just 40%, 80% of the vote of Gombe belong to youth. Ask me how. It's magic. Women at home listen to their children. The son in the house, like myself, I can control all of my mother and
Your
my
sisters,
siblings'
yes.
votes. It's natural. Because when they have problem, I'm the first person they will run into.
Actually.
So there will be that trust between us. If I say vote for Mr. Den, she believe I have confidence in Mr. Den, and I will not go for him for my selfish interest in aspects of their own interests. So what I'm seeing, this youth o'clock we are saying, I can see many political parties are putting youth o'clock. My organization is not a political. You see slogans, youth o'clock, youth o'clock. It's actually youth o'clock. The time is now youth o'clock. We may not contest for election, but we will decide who will be in that position of
Are
authority.
you giving us assurance that we're going to beat Oshun record in what they did in the election?
With this awareness we're creating.
With your awareness we're creating.
I'm telling you, I decided to leave politics, but I'll be in politics. The politics I will be in, who is the best among the candidates? The youth should tell us. If they tell us, we'll also do that education. You come to polling units, take our vote. Nobody will do that. With this new electoral act that says they can even do e-transmission.
Are you sure it will work
of-
in this circle?
No problem. We go with our power bank, with our data bank, where they say the network is not there. We give them
Starlinks.
alternative network so that they will transmit
Abubakar
it there.
Waziri, what are the major roles you intend to play in the upcoming election?
It's not too far again.
I think we had just 143 days today to the presidential election. What key role do you think your organization want to play?
Well, just like you rightly said, well, this is part of the roles we are doing, because we, instead of just working hard, young people have always been working hard, from the the presiding officers to EPOs to the mobilizers to everybody, even from the partisan and everything. It's still young people. We are the youthful ones. If the old people stay for 2-3 hours, they are tired. They want to rest. It's still the young people. It's just that that lack of serious sense of purpose is enabling the aged ones to kind of toy around with the young people. So this time around, we want to open up their eyes, raise awareness, and that's what we've been doing for ages, right? And that is where we're coming with this Gombe agenda, because it's strategic. It's such a way that, of course, we are not in this alone.
How do you build these capacities in them?
Well, the thing about capacity building is behavioral change. It takes time. It's something we've been doing over time. Now we have a whole lot of steps that we intend to tell people. Like after the youth agenda, after we've done this, we are not going to fold our arms and say that okay, they've committed to this agenda. Then another series of awareness will go out there. On site, online, and what have you. We'll be engaging a lot of young people into town halls.
Okay.
We'll be having a lot
Town
of
hall meetings.
town hall meetings, a whole lot of content creations. We have a lot of people who do that. We leverage most of these platforms through entertainment and what have you, just to like send the message for young people so that they identify this thing. It has been done before. I want to give an instance during I think during Buhari's election time here in the north, when the election was going on, even though the INEC system has not advanced the way it is at the moment, but young people were carrying their calculators in front of the television, calculating all of these things. So you see, it's more about getting the young people to be very active. So if you believe that somebody has committed to this cause, we can mobilize. The data is out there. INEC have released the data in 2023 saying that about 70-something% of the new registered are young people.
Yes.
The way it's time for election, it's just around 28 to 29 that are casting their vote. It's because young people don't believe in the system. They don't trust the system. It's only the few that are going out to vote. It's because, and this is to tell you how mediocre some of the things that the politicians present is. To be honest, a lot of young people don't even buy into it.
And that is where the errors come to you, Aisha.
Okay.
How do you, let's narrow it to the upcoming election. We have no time again, just one for something else. How do you educate the youth towards this, and how far? We want some empirical facts and a little bit of statistics. How far have you gone in education towards the upcoming election?
Okay, let me build up from where he actually stopped. Now, he said something about the youth not believing in the system anymore. Now, the youth have actually been given that mindset that the system doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, even if I go out there with my card and I vote, it's not going to be counted. But then now this is another question. If it doesn't work, why are they paying you? Or where is tokenism coming in, and then they'll tell you, okay, take this and then cast your vote. It means there is something wrong somewhere. It means your vote actually counts. But then that mentality has been already changed. Your mentality has been meddled with, that you now believe that the system doesn't work at all. But then it is not the case. If it doesn't work, then you will not be paid to cast your vote, or you will not be given a wrapper to cast a vote, or you will not be given this particular thing to cast a vote. So it means the system is still working. What is not working is our mentality that has been changed towards not believing in the system. So we have to even start from there. We have to start giving ourselves that initiative that, okay, yes, this is actually working. Now, one practical step, as an educator, I've been in the classroom for quite some time now. Now, if the only thing I know I have been doing from my side as an educator is whenever teachers or people in the educational field are actually having any conferences or whatever, and I happen to be there, now you tend to make it understandable that we don't have a field system. So you said it changes. You can't just change a nation in one day. It starts from that little steps, that one thing you do at a time. Now imagine you have a little conference or a conference about 50 people participating there, and then you tend to make them understand that, okay, this particular thing is not field. This particular system is not field. Okay, there is more to the system than we can see. Now, out of these 50 people, have more 50 people that they are networking with outside. Now, you find out that the news keeps spreading, and it keeps spreading. And out of those people that they are networking with, those other people have other people they are networking with. Okay, now it is a gradual process. Like he said, we can't just wake up one day and then we say we want to remove the bad leaders, and then what are we replacing them with? Another bad youth? No, that's not what we're doing. So sensitization is going on. One of the blueprints we have in this youth agenda is we're going to hold a lot of, before we meet with stakeholders of political parties, aspirants and all of that, we're going to have with the engagement with youth. Now we're going from different local governments, we're going to have a sit down with them. Apart from local government sensitization, we're also going to have, other people from other fields of spheres of life, educators, health sectors, other stakeholders engagement. We're going to also have their own view, and then we'll give them more awareness. We're going all the way, even not just the illiterate. We're even speaking to some of the calorie heads and all of those things, to also involve them in this. So this is not just about looking at the educated alone. We're going all out, and then we're going all in for it, for the awareness.
Actually, Mr. Dan, the time is running out of our side. I want to throw a question to Mr. A. Labaran. Actually, this particular program is talking about Gombe Youth Agenda. It's talking about advocacy, enlightenment, and one of the factors or factors affecting this country in terms of politics, there's religion, sentiment, ethnicity, and the rest. So how far are you doing to enlighten people, to educate them on the disadvantages of this particular aspect they are focusing their mind into, instead of focusing on credible leaders that will take the country, the state, to the next level?
Going by that, well, let's start with the definition. What is religion itself? Religion is a faith, what you believe in and worship. What you believe in and worship will be different from what I believe in and worship. And that is my own thinking, belief, and faith. So it should not be part of what we say governance.
Yes.
So in other words, our religious leaders have a role to play. That role should be saying preaching peace, acting peace, talking peace, and working in peace. So they have a long way to go. As you made mention, they're having a lot of advocacies to do. Like we partner with you here to come for this program. We also partner with other sister organizations. And I think it's part of the mandate of your creation. Public enlightenment, information, education, and entertainment. They are the major tenets of every media outlet. And part of it, we have what we call corporate social responsibility and community development responsibilities. That is what we've been doing. We'll have time to come and do, and we'll engage the religious leaders on that same purpose. We'll engage the traditional rulers. We'll engage the youth group, including the Kalare, she said. We know where to get them. We know how to get them.
Sessions.
Last year, August,
yes,
we have section with
they have
them.
leaders too. They have,
And then
they have their own
I remember
section.
we also have about 50 of them that repented from the said Kalari, dropped their weapons, and we do amnesty project with them, with His Royal Highness the Emir of Umbi as a witness. We did that, and we know them. They are our brothers and sisters. Nobody can change them for us. We should be the one to change them for the betterment of our dear society. Let's say, because it's Ankalari, you are running away from him, and Boko Haram and bandits can become and be staying in his home, and government can forgive the bandits, rehabilitate them, give them take-up grant. Why can't government also do something to Kalari people that tend to repent? They are our brothers. They should be reintegrated back to our community. We promise to do our best, but the God is the master planner of all the things.
Mr. Dan, before we conclude the program, because we are running out of time, your message in 1 minute.
Yeah, I very particular about the aspect of not involving youth into political thuggery, and that conference or workshop you, San Lavar, is talking about. I want to try and we keep a tab on them on that. You talked about a high power, a high stake this thing with media, the police, security. They have to assure that we keep a tab on you, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the guest today, Mr. A.S. Laval, your last message before we conclude the program.
So on behalf of all of us, we thank the management of the institution for giving us the mandate or the time to use, and more especially our hosts, the anchor of the program, Augusta Daniel, and to the young people of Gombe State. We should shine our eyes. We should preach peace, talk peace, act peace. Election will come and go. The chicken change they give us will finish, but we still have 4 years to go.
Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Adan. That is our public analyst. Thank you so much for contributing for the success of this program. My name is Augusta Adan, your presenter. Saying stay with us tomorrow at exactly 8 to 9 for the Hausa segment and 9 to 10 for the English segment. Thank you so much for your contributions. Remain blessed.